Windy days suck. I think Mother Nature hates me. Perfect little rig. Ah! Come on, man. Nice. Love that go. Welcome to mikeybalzz fishing, guys, and welcome to the Windy City. Not quite, we're actually in Florida. We are not, I think the Windy City's New Jersey? I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? Mother Nature has once again punched me in the stomach because it is blowing like 2025. Right now, just so I can talk to you guys, I am hiding in a grass line on the very far side of the lake. But listen to the wind. There's giant white caps. To get over here, I was taking water over the front of the boat, and I'm like, this is an awesome challenge that it poses to fishing, so it'd be something kind of cool to talk about. And if we can catch fish, it might actually turn out kind of cool. You guessed it, we're gonna talk about fishing in the wind, which totally sucks. But, there's always a but. So it creates circumstances that can really make the fish bite. One of those circumstances is current. Even though it's really annoying to take waves over the front of the boat, it creates current. It sets fish up behind current breaks, on ledges, on stuff like that, and it makes them active, man. It blows food straight to them, so they're ready to eat. They're in a mode. It's like a natural kind of turn on to the fish. The other thing that happens is ninny lightweights, like guys who don't like to fish in the wind, which I have to admit is me sometimes. I'll avoid the wind a bit. But a lot of these guys will go out for a couple hours in the morning. The wind kicks up, say 9, 10 o'clock. Like right now, I think it's about 10:30 or so. It's freaking railing, dude. So these guys get off the lake. They leave. They're fair weather fishermen. Now, they actually might be smarter than me right now because I should probably leave the lake and just throw in the towel and go in. However, I like a good challenge. I don't know about you, but whenever it blows, bleep happens to me. Like, dude, bird's nests and reels, freaking, like, you'll get wind knots in braid that wrap around the tip. Like, all this crap goes wrong. Cameras fall over. Things blow around in the boat. It's harder to tie knots. Everything is harder to do in the wind. So we're gonna go attempt to catch some fish. As usual, guys, if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Support Bass Attitude Fishing. I'm gonna put a link to all the baits we end up using down in the description box. Tackle Warehouse. It's gonna suck, dude. Let's go fish out to the 5-foot seas. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them waves a rolling. Come on, man. I'm seeing some fish on the side scan. And we have bass, gentlemen. See how they're all down on the bottom just like that? Just on the ledge, dropping down. And now it's gonna come back up. Some on the side scan. Bass fishes. Fish on. All right, it's just a little guy, but we'll get that school fired up. See that little jig, just like that. Just a little nubby thing. Get them fired up and we're gonna catch some more. Guys, we're gonna make a little on the water mod to our finesse jig. So like I said, there isn't that much cover down here. I'm missing a bunch of fish. So guess what I'm gonna do? Ta-da! I'm cutting that brush guard off. It's a waste of a jig, kind of, but in this situation, I'm missing too many bites. So we're gonna go naked. That bare hook means I don't have to freaking feel for them and set up. We can just kind of go after them, and when we feel weight on the bait, set the hook. Ate it on the way down. Nice. Right below us. Oh, and she really ate it too, boy. Look how she ate that thing. I think I got a bait that works. It's kind of a cool mod. Just a little 3/4 straight tail. That's an O-Beast on there. I finally remember the name. They're eating like little minnows and stuff, so I put like a smoky colored one on there. I'm gonna get a few more casts. There's some big ones down there. Fish on, what the hook said, all the way across the boat. That open jig played a role, baby. Open Ned jig. Open Ned jig. So what are we looking for to set up these fish? You'll see we're looking for underwater ledges. This dark area is deeper, and we're looking for preferably stuff that faces into the wind. The wind's coming this direction, but I've seen them on stuff that drops down behind the wind. So you can see this is shallower, this is deeper. So we're just looking at this ledge, how it comes up, to see if we see any fish. Thought I saw some here, but I didn't know. But this is kind of a prime area where you'd find them. You just want that dip. Fish on. That open hook makes all the difference. It's so hard to feel them bite in this wind, and if you can get an open hook down, oh, nice one. Oh, you just coughed up a shad. That's crazy. Just that open hook, a little kind of tailed Ned Rig. It displaces some water. We got to get back in there though. That's a better one, guys. Oh gosh. Oh dear. Oh dear. We got a big one on, dude. She's staying down. That's a good sign. We just gotta watch it. It's so hard fighting these fish. Oh my God. It's so hard to fight these fish in this weather though, on these little hooks and spinning tackle. Oh God, we've kind of found the juice there. Oh, please stay on there. Please stay on there. Might have figured something up, dude. This half a burner worm. I did this on Okeechobee once, and this half a burner worm with a little lead head. It's kind of a big fish caller. Come on up here. It's a big one, Bog. It's a big one. Oh, there she is. Oh, Nelly. Come on, honey. You ain't done yet. Wow. Come here. All right. It's a freaking 4-pounder pinned in the mouth. We gotta get back in there. Oh, she wasn't coming off. Dude, what a strong fish. Oh, it's coming together. So guys, let's run over the rig. It's funny because it's the one that I don't talk about that ends up shelling off. So I got a JTK. This is a mag Ned head. You can see it's a big kind of mushroom tip. It's a small hook, relatively speaking, for Florida, but for Ned like rig fishing, it's pretty hefty, and it's stout. So we got a burner worm. This is the full size and green. Oh no, the tail's ripped. I ripped the tail. I gotta find a new one. So I got my burner worm. I'm going to thread it right on. I want the tail pointed upwards. So I'm going to do that. Thread it on, rip it a little bit. Tail is up, kind of even. Perfect little rig. It's almost like a grub. Like I said, freaking, dude, the wind activates these bigger fish. It's freaking awesome, but boy, does it suck freaking fighting the wind. And we're actually a little bit out of the wind too. This isn't so bad. We could be out in more open water getting friggin' railed. Fish on. That one ate it. I got them kind of lined up now too. Nice. Get in here. Well, we fought the wind and it paid off, boy. Open Ned head jig, kind of with that skirt on it, but the real thing that's showing off is that Nichols, that JT Kenny mag Ned with something like, I put a half a burner worm on there. I gotta dig and see if I can find some more. But dude, we lost, I wasn't running the camera, I lost like a 3.5, and then we caught like a 4.5, and it seems like that bait. Here's the other deal. On those spinning rods, I'm running braid in the back, so it's very easy for the rod to load up. Fluorocarbon does still have a little stretch, but I'm running a braid to a leader, and I think like it's hard to feel the bites. So the only way to really hook them is to kind of feel the rod load up. So open hook, no stretch line to that leader, I think is key, and that's what I have on these spinning rods. So it's going to be kind of a ninny tackle approach, but dude, if I can catch some 4.5s on that, I'm down. So I got to dig in here and see if I can find some more burner worms. Fish on. Wait till I show you what bait I put on here. Kind of cool. and it's something just like we talked about, being streamlined, but it seemed like those appendages were key. You need something kicking. Nice. You need something kicking to kind of let those fish know that, oh my God, he ate it. Come here. So I ran out of burner worms, and I grabbed a Burner Craw and put it on my Ned Rig, and that's what happened. Well, if Bog says it's success, I'm sold. How about you guys? We beat the wind, and it was a great example of how that wind fires up those fish, dude. It sucks being out there. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it in any way. Sitting in that wind, running the trolling motor, having the boat go whew, whew, trying to fight fish, dude, that 4.5 and that 3.5, which I didn't get on video, it is rough to do. I love learning along with you guys because every day on the water is a new experience. Like, no day is the same. There's likenesses, you know, and there's little patterns on that, but every day is a new adventure out here when it comes down to it. And today I learned something really cool. And you know, I've been on a Ned Rig kick. I'm always on a Ned Rig kick ever since I caught some giants on that mag thing, and anything that I can beef up and make bigger gets me off. But this deal, it kind of started with putting that little chunk of burner worm on there, and it's funny how, like, not having a bait or like running out of something can really lead to creativity and lead to like innovation. So what we did is we grabbed this Burner Craw after we ran out of burner worms and freaking smashed them. We caught them on that burner worm, and I like that presentation, but I think there's an overall kind of like key, and that's these flappers. This wind is howling, dude. There's a lot of water moving. Those fish are using the current, but it's also kind of dirtying the water a little bit. So you want something that displaces some water, that creates some vibration in the water. The classic Ned Rig caught some fish, you know, it was solid, but it really seemed like the bigger fish and the more bites we got really came when you use something that had some kind of kicking appendage. Some key principles to grab from today when you're dealing with crazy freaking wind: point the boat into the wind. If you're on the bank, try to fish into the wind. One, you get that natural current coming towards you. Two, if you are on a boat, basically it allows you to drift off the spot you're on and then get back on it instead of drifting over and being right on top of those fish. Like we talked about too, the only exception to that is when you're cranking. Sometimes I'll put the boat in front of the fish and crank down because it's almost impossible to throw a crankbait far enough to hit that maximum depth into the wind, and you end up with all these birds' nests, and it's a mess. Total mess. Another thing, and it's something that I kind of learned today too, we missed a lot of bites, dude. And it's hard to show on the GoPro when you're missing bites because it's like dunk, and it's like, oh, I got a bite, and it's like, what is he talking about? Hookups are really tough, and that's why we ended up going to this spinning setup right here. This is braid to a fluorocarbon leader. It's 15-pound braid or 12-pound braid to, I think it's a 12-pound or a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And the reason I say that is braid is a no stretch line, and really we didn't feel these fish bite. We'd feel kind of dead weight. We might feel a little bit of a knock or a little bit of a change in weight of the bait, but you really didn't feel them go and then reel up and set the hook. So the trick is that braid with that no stretch allowed us just to feel that weight of that fish and make just a little sweeping hook set. You can probably see in the video, like a lot of times I was using like one hand and I'd just go whoop and snatch them up, and I was just feeling that weight and just pulling. And with that open hook and that braid in combination, it really allowed us to hook up with a lot more fish. There were a lot of guys out here when we got out here, and they all disappeared. And that means one of two things. One, like we talked about, they kind of got sissy and, you know, didn't like the wind. Totally understandable. And two, they probably weren't catching fish, but we were. I hope you guys enjoyed this tips video. You know, if it's a windy Saturday and you got no other days to fish, get out there. There's opportunities to catch freaking numbers as well as big fish, dude. It creates current, it kind of breaks up the water so the light freaking penetration isn't as deep. It makes fish more active usually. And it's a good opportunity. You just got to deal with the factors in front of you. That nasty wind, you know, adversity with wind knots, all that kind of stuff. It is what it is. The payoff can be like what you saw in the video. Catch a bunch of fish or catch some big ones and have a blast. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. Your support always makes these videos happen, and I love seeing your comments down in the comment box. Drop me a note. Let me know what you do on windy days. I'm kind of curious if there's some other strategies that you'd recommend using, but give some of those techniques a try, and don't let the wind push you off the water and screw up your day of fishing. All right, guys, we're out until we hook up with that next big girl. Tight lines, and we'll see you next time.